What's good, my people? Welcome into Buckets, Action Network's daily NBA betting podcast. We're in the workshop Thursday NBA slate, so you know who's with me. AC, the analytics capper, Albert Wynn, and J Money is Money. I am your host, Sean Little. We are presented by BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks. Go download the Action Network app. Everything you need to know about sports betting is in that app. Track your bets, get plays from everybody on the Buckets squad. Baseball's on the way, articles, write-ups, futures for the NBA playoffs that are coming up. Everything is in the Action Network app. Go check that out. Go download that app ASAP. Quick heads up. Legal sports betting has come to the great state of North Carolina. So if you're in the Tar Heel state, take advantage of the best sign-up offers across every sportsbook. A link to all those sign-up offers in this episode's description. So for listeners in North Carolina, check out that link in the episode description. Bounce back for the boys. We had a rough pod yesterday. Tobias Harris, I put faith in those boys and the Philadelphia 76ers. They took another L against the Grizzlies, who got some guys that are trying to get some NBA contracts, so they're playing hard. So I feel them. I shouldn't have faded them. I apologize. We move on to the Thursday NBA slate. AC, analytics capper. Give me your best bet for the Thursday NBA slate.
I'm going with the Dallas Mavericks first half -2.5.
J Money is Money. Best bet for the Thursday NBA slate.
Give me the Boston Celtics in the first half money line. Let's hope that Jaylen Brown plays.
I got nothing for the slate on Thursday. I'm back on Friday with Jim Turvey. We're doing the live action post-game live buckets tomorrow. Be on the lookout for that. Me and Jim Turvey will be doing that, and then we'll give out some recap and some best bets for the Friday slate. All right, AC, analytics capper. Talk to me about the first half, going back to Luka and the boys. First half -2.5 against the Miami Heat.
Yeah, I feel like I have a pretty good read on the Dallas Mavericks, just going their games basically all season long. And the vibes were not great this last time out. They got blown out by the Indiana Pacers. They gave up 137 points. The entire discussion after the game was Jason Kidd, the defense, Luka putting up 40-point triple-doubles and still losing by 20. So it needs to be a concerted effort for the entire team, Luka included, to play a little bit of defense. So I was looking at the under in this game, to be honest, because Miami plays slow. But I just can't trust that Dallas defense yet. Even with, Derek Lively, even with Daniel Gafford, they have some size and athleticism, but they just don't play defense. They have zero principles. I'm not going to blame Jason Kidd here. We can get to that at a different time, but I think this is a kitchen sink game for the Mavericks. Like, they're going to go all in this first half to try to get a win during this homestand. They came back from basically Max Strus, y'all. Max Strus, when he hit that 60-footer to win the game for Cleveland, Dallas hasn't recovered. They've lost 3 out of the last 4, including Boston. They gave up 120 to Philly without Embiid, 137 to the Pacers. They just got to play better at home, and I think they'll get the win tomorrow, but I trust the first half a little more. Again, there's no numbers that back this, right? The Mavs are just in a really bad situation right now. But I think Miami without Hero, there's just not enough firepower to last with Dallas. So I like Dallas in that first half. And 2.5 is not much. It's just one possession.
Yeah, the Dallas Mavericks have been down bad at the moment. If you look at the injury report right now, Luka Doncic probable, Derek Lively available in that matchup. And then if you go over to the Miami Heat, Tyler Hero out, Kevin Love out, Caleb Martin available. Josh Richardson is also out for the Miami Heat. Yeah, it's been bad. And they haven't recovered from that half quarter. J Money is Money. I was actually leaning towards the total in this spot as well. I was looking at the under. The Miami Heat away on the road where this game is being played in Dallas. They are 9-22 to the under on the road. Now, I agree with AC quite a bit that this is going to be a kitchen sink game. It's been a lot of chatter about how bad they've been playing. They now get a game at home. They're going to have to show up in this spot, you would think. J Money, talk to me about how you feel about this first half play, full game play. Talk to me.
Yeah, it's definitely a must-win spot for the Mavs. Another thing, obviously, look at the line. Like the line's not going to make sense. The Mavs have lost 5 of the last 6 games, and then you got the Heat who are 8-2 straight up in their last 10. So, majority of people are just going to look at this game and like Heat getting 4.5, 5 points. No way, I'm going to take the points here. Usually, when the line looks that off, like I'm not going to say that the books know something, but it shows something that they're holding weight, that they're giving this much weight to the Mavs in this particular spot. So obviously, they haven't been playing a lick of defense. I do not want to hear about Luka's 39-point triple doubles and he's minus 18 for the game, especially in a game where you lose by 17 as well. You can go for a triple double all you want. Is your team winning the game? Are you? And that just shows how much credit that the Luka just hasn't been playing defense as well. And I really don't like the fact that he's saying, "Oh, we got to figure something out." No, you need to figure something out. You need to try to stay in front of your man. If Luka could play at least a little bit more defense, I feel like the team as a whole would be a lot better defensively. So whenever you hear these guys talking about defense after the game, they usually work on defense a ton in practice. So I would definitely look towards the under, and I wouldn't be a bit surprised if the Mavs came out and smacked them up in the first half. The Heat have been playing really good basketball, but I still don't think they're as good as how they've been playing. That's just me personally. They draw a ton of fouls. They bait a lot of fouls, Jimmy Butler. So if they're not getting those calls, it's going to be a really tough game for the Heat because I feel like it feels like more than 75% of Jimmy Butler's points come from the foul line. So this one's all, I hate to say it, but it's all on the refs. If the Heat aren't getting the calls, they're getting blown out in this game. So we know that the Mavs are a lot better than what they've been playing. They have won 7 straight games, and then they're just in a really rough dry patch right now. So let's see what the Mavs are made of tomorrow.
I love how Jake. Yeah, I love how Jay keeps it straight, to be honest. Like, Luka is a great player, but it's not even that he's bad at defense, Jay. The guys that he's guarding doesn't even take a dribble, and he's already past Luka. Like, it's so bad to watch him live. And because of that, with a new team behind him, the rotations are all out of whack, right? You don't know who's going to give up the corner 3. You don't know who's going to rotate to the middle. Like, it's because of Luka being that, the spear of that defense, because everybody's going to hunt him. And that's the thing with the playoffs coming up, even if they make the playoffs. But let's say Dallas makes the playoffs. Every team is going to put Luka in that pick and roll and hunt him all game long. Maybe he's waiting. Maybe he's trying to wait, but it's embarrassing to watch live.
Hold on, fellas.
I saw Lowry blow past Luka twice. Like, what the fuck are we really doing? Kyle Lowry blowing past Luka, no move or anything, just pump fake and then right to the rim, and then Luka just watch him go right by with no problem.
He watches,
man.
Yeah, he watches.
Okay, so let's hold on. I understand he doesn't play any D. He's not interested in playing any D. He's never played D though. Now, there's a couple of things here, I guess. I'm tired of asking players to do things they don't do. You know how many years in a row I said I can't man, you know how scary Giannis is going to be when he shows up with a jump shot? Man, that shit ain't coming. Luka Doncic,
he's worked on it. He put the work into the gym to work on his jump shot, and Giannis's jump shot is a lot better than it used to be.
But Sean, do you agree that defense is more effort than anything? He's not even putting the effort. Yes, he's not going to slide his feet as quick as Kawhi. He's not going to have the hands like Kawhi, but at least try. He's 6'8", 250. Like, at least try.
But what I'm getting at is he's exerting so much energy on the other side. Something is going to have to fall off. And it looks like for them to be one of the top teams in the West, he has to score 35, 9-9 for them to compete in games. So if you want that to fall off and come down and play defense on the other end, it's just not going to happen. Doesn't happen. It doesn't work that way.
They have a plethora of guys on offense. Luka doesn't have to go for 39. This is basketball, Sean. You have to play offense. This isn't football where you just play one side of the ball. This is basketball. You're supposed to be able to play on both ends of the floor. Y'all remember that? Y'all remember when teams were guys like Kobe Bryant actually took pride on both? Not like, yeah, I'm going to go give you 50 points, and I'm still going to stop your best player on the other floor. I think we're kind of getting away of the
not only that. Yeah, not only that, Jay, you put it. I mean, I'm not going to say I disagree with you, Sean, but I disagree with you because at the end of the day, like, Luka's been being put on the weakest guy. Like, he is on the Kyle Lowrys of the world. He's on guys that are the fourth or fifth option for the other team, and he's still getting beat. And it's just simple rotations, and that to me is effort. I don't think it's talent. I don't think it's quickness, because he definitely has a size. We've seen him try. I think when he gets mad at Devin Booker, we've seen him try, play defense. We just need some of that. We need some of that, like, throughout the game. Instead of yelling at the ref, yell at yourself.
No, and that's it. That's it, AC. Too busy talking to the refs, not getting your ass back on defense.
I'm playing a little devil's advocate. I know clearly he doesn't play any defense and doesn't really try to play any defense, but I do think he exerts a lot of effort on the offensive side of the floor, and he's not in shape to play both ends. That's also another part that we could get into the nitty-gritty of it all. But yeah, this deep in the year, when we're handicapping, I guess, the Dallas Mavericks and looking forward, I don't think we should expect Luka Doncic all of a sudden show up and start locking up on one end of the floor. Yeah. We'll see how that shakes. I love the conversation surrounding Luka and the Dallas Mavericks. All right, J Money is money. Let's go over to the marquee matchup of the night. Both teams coming off a loss. We're in Denver. This feels like it should be a pick'em to me. I feel like that's where it kind of ends up falling come tip time. But right now, the Boston Celtics are a small favorite, -1, -1.5, depending on where you're looking. J Money
underdog
taking the Celtics are an underdog.
Yeah, they're underdog. Yeah, Jaylen Brown's questionable. So the Celtics open up at -1, like 1.5. Jaylen Brown's questionable with some shit I never even heard of, but some type of strain. And then it went to Nuggets. Now they're favored by 1.5. So it's basically like a pick'em type of game. Just it'll probably be -1 +1 on either side.
Right before, I didn't even realize that Jaylen went on the questionable side. But yeah, it opened a small favorite to the Celtics. Now it's flipped. Small favorite to the Nuggets. But you're looking at the first half here, J Money.
Yeah, so the Celtics are 10. So they obviously coming off a loss. They're coming off a game where they blew a 22-point lead in the fourth quarter to the Cavs. They're coming off a loss. They've only lost back-to-back games so far, only once all season, and that was back early November as well. So this is when the season first started as well. But if you're looking at the Celtics coming off a loss in the first half, this team is 10-2 straight up in the first half, coming off a loss, and 10-1 in their last 11 games coming off a loss as well. This is what they do. They bounce back off of losses, and they're actually 11-1 straight up this year. Only one time they've lost back-to-back games. 11-1 straight up after a loss. So I think this is a Celtics type of spot. This is a bounce-back J spot paired with the revenge game J spot as well after losing to the Nuggets at home. Remember, they were undefeated at the house. I believe had won like 22 straight games at home, and then the Nuggets came in there motivated into their house and ended their streak and beat them by 2 points. I believe there was no Porzingis that game, but this time Porzingis is going to be in. Jaylen Brown's still questionable. Obviously, I'd like to have him out there, but I do think that this is a spot where the Celtics try to come to play. We know this is the best team in the NBA, in my opinion. I mean, the numbers show it as well, but I'll just say in my opinion, and I think this is the champs of this year going up against the champs of last year. I think they're here to send a message. They were probably looking ahead to this game. Huge game for the Celtics here. I know that they're playing in altitude. I know that the Nuggets are coming off a loss as well, and they usually bounce back at the house, but just quite frankly, I don't think they have enough for the Celtics, not when the Celtics are totally locked in full squad. So hopefully Jaylen Brown plays in this one. That way, if they do lose, there's literally no excuse for the Celtics. But I think that they can match up well with the Nuggets. I think that they're a very well balanced team, offensively and defensively. These guys are locking up on defense as well. That's why they've been so different this year. Adding Drew Holiday and Porzingis has just been crazy for the Celtics. Pairing that with Derek White, Jaylen Brown, and Jason Tatum. So I'm hoping Jaylen Brown plays, but I think regardless, they come out here and send a message in the first half and possibly win the game as well.
Yeah, we know the offense has been spectacular, but the defense has also been spectacular, and a lot of it comes from just demoralizing opponents. Even Steph Curry laid it out in the postgame. He said, when they start knocking down three balls, that's kind of what we used to do to people, and it gets you off your game. You start pressing a little bit, and that helps on the defensive side of the ball. The Boston Celtics versus the West are 11-10 ATS. The Denver Nuggets against the East are 11-12-1 ATS. AC, how do you feel about this matchup, Prime?
It's a revenge spot as well. I mean, Denver and Boston played back in January. Denver went into Boston, right, and won that. So this is kind of a revenge spot for Denver, for Boston. I think this game means more to Boston. I know they're running away with the East, but the Denver Nuggets have what Boston wants and has been wanting now for like 4 or 5 years. So I think this is more of a statement game for Boston, and also I still think Denver is the class of the West, but it's not the same as last year. Like last year, a Jokic bad game was like 25, 10, and 10. This year, we've seen Jokic struggled, guys. Like from the floor, he struggled with turnovers. I think the other night he had 6 turnovers. Like we never see that stuff. So I think there's a little thing off with the Nuggets. And I think it's because they're coming off a championship. They think they can just flip it on, and maybe they can flip the switch. But in the regular season, they're not going 100 miles per hour like they did last year.
It looks like they flipped the switch the last 6-7 games. They've been playing really well. 6-1 in their last
Coming
7.
off a loss versus the Suns. Just saying.
Yeah, I will say this on Phoenix. That was a really good win for Phoenix against Denver. I was so sure that Jokic floater was falling. I thought that shit was game over for sure. It ends up hitting the front of the rim. But the Nuggets versus the Celtics is all about going to be what happens in crunch time in the fourth quarter. If the Boston Celtics are up big going into the fourth, then cool. But if it comes down to slow it up possession by possession, Denver is going to have the look for me, of course.
Sean hates the fourth quarter Celtics.
Dude, I mean, how can you not? How can you not hate the fourth quarter Celtics?
The Nuggets got nothing for them. Celtics are the best team in the league. And I think this is the 2023 champs going up against the 2024 champs. That's the last thing I got to say about this one.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to argue that Boston's been sensational, but I think a big part of that is they've been busting people's heads and beating people by 13, 14 points. They're not playing a lot of close games coming down the stretch. Now, if it's close coming down the stretch in Denver, I can't wait to see it, and we'll see what shakes. Maybe we get a little finals preview. If you do like that finals preview, I think you can get an exact on Celtics versus Nuggets, like plus 450 around town. So take a look at that. All right, that's going to do it for Buckets Thursday edition. To recap, AC's on the Mavericks first half -2.5. J Money, Celtics first half money line pending Jaylen Brown playing or not. I'm off, but I'll be back tonight to do the Buckets live with Jim Turby. We'll have some best bets for the Friday slate. For AC Analytics Capper, Albert Wynn, for J Money is Money. I'm your host, Sean Little. We are presented by BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Don't forget it. Get buckets, baby.